Good evening, and welcome to FPTV News. My name is Matt Dresselhaus. The nation of Sierra Leone was officially declared free of Ebola transmissions on Saturday. The World Health Organization made the announcement at an official ceremony in Freetown, the capital of Sierra, after the nation had passed 42 days, or 2 incubation periods for the virus, without an Ebola case. The virus has crippled the nation's economy, and there's no promise that it won't come back anytime soon. It's kind of like a mixed emotion. People are happy, but also many are depressed because they lost their families, said Tunis Yaha, Director of Communications for the country's National Ebola Response Center. During the outbreak, nearly 4,000 people died from the disease. Altogether, 14,000 were infected. The outbreak has so far killed more than 11,300 people across the world. Liberia was also declared free of the virus about 2 months ago, but it's still apparent in Guinea, where it initially originated. Sierra Leone is now on high alert to keep the virus from spreading over the border once again. In other news, the Food and Drug Administration is highly recommending a daily cap on the sugar for the first time. Experts have been nudging Americans to kick the sugar habit for years, and now it's official. The goal is for Americans to limit their added sugar consumption to no more than 10% of their daily calories. For someone older than 3, that means eating no more than 12.5 teaspoons of sugar a day. That amount of sugar is equivalent to about 1 can of Coke. High-calorie sweeteners like honey and high-fructose corn syrup are found in obvious places like sodas, cookies, and candy, but are also found in foods with low health appeal, like low-fat yogurt, granola, and whole-grain breads. There is a lot of hidden sugar in our food supply, and it is not just in sweets, said Dr. Frank Hugh, a member of the Dietary Guidelines. As of right now, we're nearly 3 times as more likely to die of heart disease compared to those whose sugar intake is less than 10% of calories. Americans need to take a serious step in analyzing food labels before they just assume it's healthy. SeaWorld has officially announced that its San Diego location will stop live orca whale shows starting in 2017. At first glance, animal rights activists thought it was a big win for them, only to realize that it will be only one of the 3 locations. It starts in 2 years, and SeaWorld will get more revenue for customers coming back. After the constant barrage of bad reviews because the orca whales are treated like circus animals, Howard Garrett, co-founder of the Orca Network, says that even though the whales will not be performing, they will still live in concrete boxes for the rest of their lives. When CNN's Blackfish documentary was shown in 2013, SeaWorld's revenue has declined in a significant amount and now is being portrayed as a bad image. SeaWorld has responded by making ad campaigns to hopefully improve their bad image to tourists and animal rights activists. In other news, on the west coast in Palm Springs, California, a large blue light was seen overhead in the night sky on Saturday, shocking many people who witnessed it. More people were frightened than awed by the lights, thinking that it was a possible UFO sighting, but everyone questioned what they were watching. As it turns out, the United States Navy was test launching a Trident II missile from the sub USS Kentucky. It was a planned test launch, and the missile was not armed, but the public was intentionally uninformed, since it was classified. One resident, Matt McKee, described it as, "At first, it looked like a gold shooting star. It went from gold and small, burning for a few minutes, and turned into this blue spot light, like an event held at night, not like shooting out at us, but a white bright light." Even with many months before the actual election, Ben Carson and Donald Trump are now tied in South Carolina, with other Republican candidates near them. Ben Carson, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz are all rising in the polls, with all of them having a more than 50% approval rating. For Bush and Trump, it is the opposite. Voters are now thinking of them more negatively, though Donald Trump is still tied for first in the poll, while Jeb Bush is near the bottom of the poll. The 4th GOP debate will be held tonight. The first 3 debates did not talk about Carson's violent past or Rubio's financial struggles. Still, there's many more months for the actual election, so any candidate can improve or fall in the polls. The GOP may become an even closer race between many candidates trying to win the vote. A dying Star Wars fan, Daniel Fleetwood, was able to watch the newest Star Wars movie before it was scheduled to be released to the public as his dying wish. Daniel died a few days later, and his dream had been fulfilled. Fleetwood was suffering from terminal cancer and was told by doctors in July that he only had a few months to live, so he made it his dying wish to watch the newest Star Wars movie, even though it was the unedited version. An online campaign was made for Fleetwood to watch the movie, with supporters even being actors such as John Boyega, Mark Hamill, and Peter Mayhew. Ashley Fleetwood, his wife, posted on this morning on his Facebook, "He is now one with God and one with the Force," in honor of his passing. And that is it for Tuesday News. My name is Matt Dresselhaus. Good night.